All right, we're out here to Mr. and Mrs. Harper's house looking at doing some siding for them. They're also getting some foundation work. They have some pretty serious foundation issues that need to address first. But once they do that, they are looking at doing some masonry, who I'll give them a referral for. And I'm also giving them due west information for foundation. But then they will look at, once they get the foundation settled, they'll look at doing the siding, looking to put it all on a single home equity that they're going to secure themselves. So basically what we got here in our scope of work, up in this corner, we have some rot that we're going to repair. We're looking at doing a fascia overlay, looking at painting. After we seal the soffits, we're looking at painting the soffits with some minor repair in 2 areas. And then we have about 5 areas of fascia repair before we do the fascia overlay with Hardie. All the windows, doors, interior corners, exterior corners will all be retrimmed in the appropriate Hardie material, whether 1x4 or 1x2. So back here you can see we got 5 windows. Those will all be retrimmed in Hardie. On the bottom edge here where the foundation meets the siding, we will flash that with the C-channel flashing to prevent any kind of water exposure from running up behind the Hardie itself. Hose bib here will get a J-box, and that'll recess nicely back into the wall cavity and give it a much cleaner look. Siding back here, we can basically do an overlay. We have a couple places where we're going to remove the existing siding, but for the most cases here, we're going to be doing an overlay on the existing siding. We're using 8 1/4 cedar mill select horizontal siding. Coming over here, we're going to pull all electrical, cable, telephone, pull that all away from the wall, side behind it nice and clean, and then reattach. We do have, behind the electrical meter here, we do have some rot in this area. So that'll be addressed, cut out, inspect any kind of framing behind it, and then continue on with the Hardie job. Here on this bottom corner edge here, where it meets the foundation, we are going to cut about 1.5 inches skirting on that, or excuse me, 1.5 foot skirting on that, just to make sure nothing's going on with the base plate and the framing. We do have some superficial rot here, so we want to get rid of that before we continue on with the Hardie system. Same thing up here, basically. Using this as substrate, install Tyvek, and then continue on with our trim and Hardie siding installation. Again, wrapping all windows and doors that are existing in siding, wrapping all those in Hardie material. We do need everything, not only on the interior walls, but on the exterior walls. We'll have to have that removed, obviously, before the project would begin. Coming over here, we got some, we definitely need some diverter flashing up here. They had the roof done a couple years, but there was no flashing put in. So we need diverter flashing up here around the chimney. You can see that the water has just pounded that area. We got some rotten fascia. And more importantly, down here, we got a huge amount of rot here. So this whole chimney needs to be torn off, inspect the framing, and then reinstall OSB, Tyvek, and Hardie. And that's the whole chimney. We've got some more rot up in this area here that needs to be addressed. One other area here, almost skipped over it. This fascia is curling out. So we got about 9 feet of fascia here that need to be cut out, replaced with lumber, and then we can do our fascia overlay system. We are doing a drip edge as well. So we're doing a Hardie 1x2 drip anywhere that we have the Hardie fascia going. You can see the drip edge is this small 1x2 right under your shingle line. Going out to the front. You see more of that rot down here. The trim just really not in good shape. You can see all the way up. So this whole thing needs to be ripped off, resheathed with OSB, and then continue on with our Tyvek Hardie. Got some small trim in between these front windows here. That will be replaced, retrimmed in Hardie. We got some area under the porch here. Again, completely fine to use this as our substrate. Retrim the door. The door has brick mold on it right now, but we will retrim that in a true Hardie 1x4. Coming over the garage here, we need to cut about a foot up. You can see right under the star here, there's some soft area. So we'll cut about a foot up, skirt it all the way across, reinstall the OSB after we inspect the framing. We will rewrap the garage door frame in Hardie after we do some repairs in this corner right here. Part of what they need the mason for is that you can see this whole facade here is just peeling away. So we're going to give them a referral for a mason to address this after the foundation work is done. Same thing over here. Over here we do have, this is probably the worst rot on the whole home, is about 2 feet of fascia need to be cut out, both extending back this way and this way back to the house. That needs to be cut out. We'll basically rebuild that corner with wood, and then we'll do our fascia overlay and Hardie 1x2 drip. Here you can see more where the movement, you can see this it's been mortared in a couple times, but it's really pulling away from the house. So that all needs to be addressed with a mason. Other than that, this gable is in good shape. We got a small area right here that we need to address in the fascia before we do the fascia overlay. But other than that, the siding is in great shape. Perfect candidate for using this as our substrate. And then continuing on with the Tyvek and then the Hardie. Got a small soft spot right here. It's probably about 2 feet wide by about a foot high. So right here, that'll be cut out as well, just so we can inspect that and make sure everything's fine behind. So that's about it, Mr. and Mrs. Harper. We appreciate you considering Southwest Exteriors for your project, and we look forward to helping you out. Thanks so much.